Howdy, folks. I'm Squiffy Squash, squarely squashing squalid signposts.
I'm Amber.
And here are more squalid signposts for us to squash down upon because we are the squash of judgment, and we shall persevere. I don't know where we're going with this, but apparently we're also a little tipsy. Let's get started. That's probably why we don't make any sense. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Making My Neighbors Think That I Am in a Cult? Hi, throwaway account, cause I don't want my friends to find this. I'm a 24-year-old male, and I'm a huge fan of board games, particularly Dungeons and Dragons. I host a weekly D&D session at my apartment with a group of friends, and it's been our tradition for the last 5 years. We get into dress up, and we light candles, and we chant dramatic incantations, we play some ambient music. I know it's more than the regular player does, but we like it, and we find it funny. Recently, my neighbors, an older couple in their 60s, moved in next door. They're nice enough, but pretty old school. Anyways, they've been giving me these weird looks lately and avoiding me in the hallway, which I thought was odd, but I figured maybe they just weren't into socializing. Well, last Saturday, during one of our sessions, we got really into it. My friend Dave, a 23-year-old male, was doing an epic monologue as the evil sorcerer we were about to defeat. And I may have been waving around a fake sword while wearing a hooded cloak. I was cosplaying as my rogue character. We were deep in the moment when I heard a knock on the door. I opened it, still in costume, and was greeted by my very concerned-looking neighbors. Before I could say anything, the wife blurted out, "We've seen the people coming and going, the chanting, the cloaks, the swords. We just want to make sure everything is okay?" I was caught off guard, and without thinking, I blurted out, "Oh, we're just summoning demons. Nothing to worry about." And then I laughed because obviously I was joking. But they did not laugh. In fact, they looked even more horrified. They just mumbled something about being good Christians and backed away slowly. Fast forward to the next morning, and I find a pamphlet underneath my door titled Cult Deprogramming Service. They even included a handwritten note offering to introduce me to their pastor to save my soul. Now my friends think that this is hilarious and keep suggesting that we lean into it. Like start wearing robes to take out the trash or chant in the hallways. I'm honestly tempted to mess with them a bit, but I'm also kind of worried that I've legitimately freaked them out. Am I the jerk for accidentally making my neighbors think that I am a cult leader? And should I clear up things or just let them believe it? All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think OP's a jerk. I would say clear things up because you're going to have to live next to these people for a long time. And so as fun as it might be in the moment to mess with them, it's not the kind thing to do. And it could make things a lot more uncomfortable for you going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is one of those situations where it could be funny, but do you really, like, it could be funny for you,
Mm-hmm.
but is it going to be funny for them?
And the answer is no.
And that's really the key of a joke, right? Like, if you realize that somebody else isn't having a good time and you're having fun at someone else's expense, maybe that isn't such a good place to be at.
Right. Now, I don't think that OP and the friends should have to change up what they're doing, like wearing robes and, playing with swords and whatnot, as long as they're not being overly noisy and like disturbing the neighbors, then I don't see any issue with what they're doing. And
Yeah.
keep on keeping on. Maybe have a conversation with them, let them know that you're playing a game and not really trying to summon demons.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll stop dropping pamphlets off and trying to introduce you to their pastor.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Breaking Up with My Boyfriend in Front of His Friends Over a Girl Bestie? And Amber wants to read this one.
We have been together for 8 months and official for 4. I love him honestly and everything was great. We met each other's family and friends and the whole thing. On Saturday, I was meeting with him and his friends and he was going to introduce me to his best friend from college. We'll call her Karen. She came 1.5 hours late and he refused to order until she was there. I wasn't very hungry, so I wasn't bothered at first, but then she came without apologies or anything. She just nodded hi when he introduced us. The other 2 friends were with their girlfriends, and they weren't very glad to have waited before dinner. Her explanation was that she got caught up in a game. We are all way into our 30s. Then she got a bit drunk and was all over my boyfriend, and the first time she talked to me was to tell me, I hope that you aren't like the other girls and get intimidated by our friendship. I was like, what? I don't get intimidated by other women. She insisted that she was the reason my boyfriend and all his exes broke up. My boyfriend then interjected, agreeing with her. I asked how so, and he said jealousy, and some people had given him an ultimatum, and I would never choose an insecure girl that I have known for 8 months over a friend I've known for years. She was giggling the whole time. I was a bit yuck, and I said, women don't usually have problems with other women. You speak about this happening with multiple women? What are the odds they were all wrong when there's a common denominator? She started laughing and saying that I was just like them. And my boyfriend, I've seen him for the first time in his pathetic form, said, well, yeah, this goes for us too. If you make that ultimatum, then it's over for us too. I just said he needn't worry because I am better than playing pick me in my 30s, so I am bowing out. I left the restaurant and transferred my part of the bill to him. Now he said that I was the jerk for breaking up without a discussion, and to do it in front of his friends like that was embarrassing. His friends thought I did great, and they didn't think I was a jerk at all, and they were laughing and making burn sounds when I left, so he found it embarrassing. I know for a fact that I'm going to continue being friends with the girlfriends of them because I've known them for 8 months now and we like each other. The other thing is he says I was a jerk for giving up on us so easily, but I disagree. I usually don't give up on people I respect. His and her clownery just made me think it wasn't worth one more second. But he said that it was wrong because he loves me and I him.
All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I think Opie handled it perfectly. And I can only see this getting worse down the line. It seems like his friend has a thing for ruining his relationships.
You're driving off women,
Yeah.
right? I mean, honestly, like, it being multiple women and they're all jealous, I think that there's something maybe a little bit more going on here. And I think that OP should trust her instincts. If you don't think a situation is a good situation or a good deal for you, then maybe it's time to walk away. And like, this would have been out of the blue had she just shown up and then OP was like, oh, it's a girl, and then was like, you can't have girlfriends, and then like leaves or something like that, right?
Right, but that's not what happened. It seems like she was literally trying to provoke OPs into like being upset and getting jealous. It seems like a sport for her to drive off his girlfriends.
So yeah, I think that OP made the right move here because, like you said, it seems like she's making sport of it, and it seems like she's doing it to basically wreck relationships. And if she is doing it for that reason, then maybe she should reflect on how she really feels about this individual. Does she actually have feelings for him, and is she taking out her frustrations on these other people who are dating him?
Or is it all just a game?
Yeah.
But either way, he's going along with it. He's not standing up to her, and that's not okay. You know, like, if someone says to your partner, oh, yeah, like, I drive off all his girlfriends, you know, you shouldn't be, don't get insecure over me, like, draping off of him. He should be like, whoa, 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 like, step back. Like, let's not do this.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Finding it amusing that my boyish female friend is on the receiving end of a crush? I'll try to keep this short. My friend is a 31-year-old female and has recently been struggling with a criminal harassment from a man she knew from high school. And of course I, a 28-year-old male, am with her all the way, and she has my full support. Except in private, my thoughts are as follows. Ever since I've known her, starting out from when I was in grade 6, she's always been one of the boys. I mean, she definitely looks like a very good-looking girl, but her voice has always been on the lower side. It's almost exactly the same pitch and timbre as the person singing here, around in the 20 seconds range. And she has really strong back and shoulders that are most apparent when her shirt comes off or she is wearing a tank top or something. She's a 9 out of 10, and definitely would be a 10 out of 10 without these few masculine traits. The joke's in my head that she's too masculine to really attract any men. I have spoken about her online, on other forums, and on this thread. But that's as far as I go with making my thoughts known. Am I the jerk here? Alright folks, what do you think?
Yes, throw OP into the centrifuge right now. I mean, this is disgusting. She is being criminally stalked. This is not some harmless crush. This is criminal stalking. And this is a really gross attitude to be like, oh, but she's too masculine to attract men. First of all, people who stalk other people, it's about power and control more than it is about anyone's attractiveness. Secondly, people can be attracted to masculinity. People of any gender can be attracted to masculinity.
Yeah.
And like, this is just, there's so many things wrong. I don't even know what to say.
Well, I just want to point out that the guy already says that she's a 9 out of 10, right? So OP has to think that she's somewhat attractive in order to rate her as a 9 out of 10 for anyone who rates people out of number systems, right?
Yeah.
But I think that this is one of those situations where he really needs to evaluate himself here, right? I mean, like certainly I'm glad he isn't making these thoughts known to her, right? And these are just thoughts as it stands, but I think that he needs to understand the gravity of the situation, and if he really did understand the gravity of the situation, he wouldn't find it cute or anything like that, right? Because this isn't a fun little thing, a fun little crush that someone has on her. This is a he's stalking and harassing her situation.
Yeah, like I can't imagine hearing someone that I care about is being stalked and going, ha ha, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And like it's disturbing too that I know he's not talking to her in person, but he's talking about this online and like with a bunch of different people, it seems like on different forums and threads and whatnot. Why is he so insistent on this? Is
Mm-hmm.
he attracted to her and she doesn't reciprocate, and so he's trying to like be like she's so masculine she couldn't land a guy anyway, or like whatever his motives are. I think he really needs to dig deep, figure out why he's doing this, maybe get some
Mm-hmm.
therapy to figure out like how he can not be a jerk and learn to support his friend wholeheartedly.
Well, maybe it's that he has resentment towards himself, right? And like he finds her attractive and he doesn't understand that, and he's like, well, she's too masculine, so it says something about him that he deeply resents. And that could be the case, right? I'm just wildly speculating and I don't know, but it comes across as that to me, that he, has some kind of resentment towards himself, and so he's taking this out on her and being turning her into the joke in his head because like, haha, who would be attracted to her? Haha, I'm attracted to her.
Yeah.
I don't know. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck to the friend. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Considering Breaking Up with My Fiancée Because She Talked Bad About My Sister? I'm a 36-year-old male, and I've been together with my fiancée, a 38-year-old female, for 4 years, and we are in the middle of planning our wedding and are just about to send out invites. However, I'm not sure that I want to go through with the wedding anymore. For some backstory, my sister, a 32-year-old female, got pregnant at 18 and her boyfriend left. She had the baby at 19. Her daughter is now 13 years old, and she is one of the smartest, most well-behaved, and one of the greatest kids I have ever met. My sister had a rough time, but with the help from our grandma, she managed to get through college and landed a great job. She has done so many great things, and her being a young single mother has never made her a bad person. My fiance has always been quite distant with my sister since she found this out. A year into our relationship, we were hanging out with my sister, drinking and talking. She, from nowhere, just blurted out, "So why didn't you terminate her?" It caused an argument, but me and my sister forgave her because we chalked it up to her just being drunk. But she has always had these backhanded things to say about my sister, but my sister always assured me that it didn't matter. Last Saturday, she was on the phone with her friend. She was in the living room and I was in the kitchen. I think that she just either talked loud without noticing or just did not know that I could hear her. She was talking about my sister being a failure, that if she ever had a daughter that did the same thing, she would make sure that she was shunned and would make sure that the baby died. She said that it was sad that my sister was such a stupid bee and decided to ruin her life over a kid that's not even all that. She went on and on, laughing and saying hurtful things about my sister. I was disgusted with her. I talked with her about it on Monday, and she went off on me for invading her privacy, that I had no respect for her, and that I had no right to listen into her conversation. I asked her if those were her true feelings, and she said that I was even more dumb than my sister if I didn't realize that she has always felt that way. We ended the conversation there, and she has been acting like nothing has happened. Would I be a jerk if I cancel our wedding because of this? Is this even a valid reason? I love my sister, and I know that she's not a failure. But hearing her talk about my family that way hurts me, and I did not think that about her. How can I spend the rest of my life with someone who thinks that way about my own family? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, OP, you would not be in the wrong to call off the wedding. This is 100% a valid reason. Like, you can break up with someone for any reason, but she is being demeaning to someone who you're very close to. It seems like this is a repeated pattern of behavior, and your sister has been brushing off her comments because your sister probably feels bad and doesn't want to ruin your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But the girlfriend right here is the one who is doing all the ruining. And I think you have to be like think hard about the implications of this. Not only is she going to continue to disrespect your sister, What if you have kids?
Mm-hmm.
Is she going to badmouth your sister to your kids, tell them not to end up like, the sister, and like try not to let your sister spend time with them? If you have a daughter who becomes, a teen mom, like it seems like she would be wanting to make her life a living
Oh yeah,
nightmare.
yeah. And I mean, would you be prepared to, shun your daughter if something like this happened?
Which you shouldn't. You'd have to
Yeah,
cut things off with the wife and
yeah.
take care of your daughter,
Well, exactly,
but
exactly.
you don't want to get to that point.
Yeah. So I think that OP should take this red flag and run with it, right? I mean, I certainly think that this is a relationship ending situation. I don't know that therapy can fix this, right? I don't know that there's any kind of miscommunication. I think this is a fundamental lack of compatibility, that she and you have very different views and worldviews on these kinds of situations. And I think that you view your sister as a great person who, got into a bad situation and, pulled herself out of that bad situation and made it work for her, right? And I mean, that's really good, because a lot of people who have teen pregnancies, they don't necessarily have the resources to go through college or other things. And so it ends up, negatively impacting their lives. But in this particular case, it didn't. And I think that's really great. And I'm glad she had the family support to be able to do that.
Well, and even if it had, she still wouldn't be in the wrong for
Oh, of
wanting to raise
course.
her child,
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's unfortunate that we live in a world where people do have these tough situations to make, and it should be that anyone who wants to have a kid can have their kid and still have a fulfilling life. But it wouldn't make her a bad person, or it wouldn't mean there was anything wrong with her if she chose motherhood over having a fulfilling career or anything like that. And it's just, different people have different values. It's fine if the girlfriend or fiance doesn't want that to be her life, but she shouldn't be able to dictate for other people what they should value.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Max, your girlfriend was sailing on vacation and fell overboard into shark-infested waters? Mike, that's right, and the sharks didn't bother her. Max, why not? Mike, they were man-eating sharks.
Oh, that one wasn't too bad. And I have Mega Mint. Amber is peddling her wares here. Grizzly is on sale.
Well, not on sale, but it's available only until September 10th. So this is Grizzly, a charity anthology. I have a story in here, Jane, that I'm super proud of. And there's a bunch of other amazing stories. And all the money, all the profits from this go to Take Back the Night, an organization dedicated to ending sexual violence globally. So if you like reading and you like supporting great causes, consider checking this out.
Yeah, and I meant for sale, not on
Yeah.
sale. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior, folks.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Thanks so much to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on being a good neighbor.
Being a good neighbor involves respecting the people near you, and as long as they're not hurting you or, causing danger, letting them, or disturbing your peace, letting them live their lives.
Sure, I think that works. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Howdy, folks. I'm Squiffy. Howdy, folks. I'm Squiffy, Squashy, Squarely Squashing Squalid Signposts.
I think it should be Squippy Squash.
Oh, squash, not squashy. I was like, why are we doing squashy?